Protect what matters. Collar up.
What's up, DBs? Coach D Magic here, former D1 defensive back. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns locking up Jamar Chase, 2 catches for 26 yards. Jamar Chase and Denzel Ward always call each other out in the media, and it seems like Denzel Ward always gets the best of Jamar Chase. So let's break down the technique. Greg Newsome got in there as well, was locking down Jamar Chase. Make sure you go to thedbnetwork.com to get 100 DB drills for $50. And then I'm excited to talk about our sponsor, Q Collar. Make sure you go to q30.com to get your Q Collar. This product is FDA approved and it'll help you protect your brain. But let's get into the video first, all right? So let's break down the technique of Denzel Ward. So great stance, great off-man stance. Notice how he's inside shade here. He's got his outside foot up. Great job here. Now, watch his first initial steps. All right, see how they're slow? Slow steps, those are his read steps. He's reading 3-step or deeper, okay? 3-step meaning quick passes, quick slant, all right? Read step. Now that Joe Burrow has taken a drop, he's going to open into his crossover run here. And he still has vision on the quarterback in Jamar Chase. Now, as Jamar Chase begins to get into his blind spot here, we already see that the ball is being thrown. So we see the balls being thrown before Jamar Chase. And it looks like Jamar Chase kind of gives up on the route here because he understands Denzel Ward has top position. There's no way I'm going to catch this ball against this guy. I rarely catch it against him anyway. So I think Jamar Chase is kind of deflated at this point. But one thing, so we talked about the technique, read step, open once we see a deep drop, keep the quarterback in our vision. Even though the receiver gets into our blind spot here, I like that we accelerate when the ball's thrown. Watch this. Watch the acceleration, change of speed. You see the change of speed in Denzel Ward? Okay, a lot of times when DBs see that ball thrown in the air, they don't change speed. Okay, they keep the same speed, and that's how they misjudge the football. It's like baseball. It's easier to play a foul ball from top down than it is to be too short, okay, and then try to accelerate uphill later. All right, so as soon as you see that ball thrown, accelerate. All right, again, we have Denzel Ward in our blind spot, or Jamar Chase in our blind spot. We don't know where he is. There's a lot of space to the outside. Okay, almost 10 yards to the outside right now. We're going to flip and find. Okay, we found him. We're still on top. Now we can get our head up. We can cut him off, and now we can play chest-to-chest position here, blocking him from getting the football, all right? Great job by Denzel Ward here, all right? Pedal, read the quarterback, 5 to 7 drop, open, balls, or keep him in our vision, all right? Ball's thrown, he's in our blind spot, accelerate, find him, we're on top, chest to chest, cut off. Good, great job. Now, before we get into the next clip, I want you guys to check out our new sponsor, Q Collar. This product is FDA approved. You wear it around your neck, and it helps protect your brain. The helmet helps protect your skull, but the Q Collar is the only product to help protect inside your skull. All right. Now, Greg Newsome. Greg Newsome got in there. Martin Emerson's out for the year, so I think Greg Newsome, this is a contract year for him. And I've always been a fan of Greg Newsome, but he's always been at third DB. You know, Martin Emerson's like, what, 6'1", 6'2", and he can cover too. Greg Newsome's like 5'10", but he was a great DB out of Northwestern that I've always, been a fan of, but it's hard for him to crack that starting lineup when you got two, studs in front of you, right? So if I'm going to link the Cleveland Browns video to this in the description or at the end of the video. So we talk about the Cleveland Browns technique in detail because I had the opportunity to learn from one of the Cleveland Browns staff members about how they teach it, all right? So watch his outside foot. See how he takes 2 outside steps, 2 small outside steps. 1, 2, okay? Now those read steps, those patient steps, those peer steps, all right, are going to help keep us patient and keep us square as we're reading the receiver. Okay, now he's going to take a gather step. Now, I have this in the DB Mastery program, so make sure you go check out the DB Mastery program. It's called double peer step, gather step. Okay, so that gather step If we have to wait a little longer than we want and we're not throwing hands here, that gather step will give us just that extra space to reset that line of scrimmage. All right. So instead of him getting on our toes, okay, and then getting by us and getting outside of our feet or getting outside of our frame easily by turning that shoulder, we're going to give ourselves an extra half step of space here by gathering backwards. Boom, boom, gather step. Now, once he releases, we have a great angle to stay on top and work with him, all right? And now we can get late hands on here, okay? We start hands first. Ja'Marr Chase is going to hand fight back, all right? Now we're looking to get our head back because we understand that is going to be a fade here, okay? So for the first, I would say 5, 10. For the first like 15, 18 yards, it still can be a comeback. It could be a quick back shoulder fade. Right here is where we understand what it's going to be. And then as we try to get our head back, okay, as we're trying to lean and get our head back, he may be leaning. Looks like he's leaning. You see how Ja'Marr Chase pushes off to create that little bit of separation. Now this throws us off, okay? So now as we're getting our eyes back for the football, we understand that that ball is going to be dropped over our head. We're not going to be able to make a play here, okay? It's not in the bucket. It's going to be over our head where only Ja'Marr Chase has a chance to catch the ball. Great poise here. We don't panic. Watch how he turns, okay? And now we just got to try to play the hands. We go from trying to play the ball to playing the hands, all right? And look how he gets that one hand in there. That one hand in there, all right? All right, the ball hits the back of our hand. Before you guys say it's a drop, because I put this on Instagram, people are like, oh, it's a drop. We get our hand in there right before the ball, just enough to tip the ball, all right, and get that ball out. Great technique, great technique, great technique. Let's take a look at it from this side, all right? After we took it our 2 steps, we kick step, we're on top, hand fight, trying to find that football, all right? It's over our head. Back shoulder like Ja'Marr Chase and Joe Burrow like to do it. Boom, we get our hand in there. Right there. Right there. You see how the ball is going downhill? All right, downhill at this angle. And you see how as it hits our hands, it flattens out and it changes its trajectory. That's how I know that we got our hand on the football. So great defense by Greg Newsome, okay? All right, so hey, guys. Make sure, I'm super excited about the Q collar. Make sure you go to Q30.com to pick up your Q collar. Everybody's kind of wearing those, those things on your helmets to help with to help with concussions. But guys, like those things don't really, they kind of help stop your brain from rattling, but the Q collar is FDA approved and it will actually help you guys create more cushion in your skull, not outside of your skull, inside your skull, to help prevent concussions. I know a lot of guys that I've played with that are going, and I'm only 33, who are already going through CT-like symptoms. I was fortunate enough to play DB where I didn't tackle too much. But guys, make sure you go to Q30.com, pick up the Q collar. I'll put the link in the description.